Hey guys, welcome to the Chad Prather Show, man. Satan lives in technology. I'm telling you, we can blame Todd and everybody else, but I'm telling you, it ain't Todd on this one. It's just the devil. The devil lives in technology. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. It is Tuesday afternoon. It is a beautiful day. It is a gorgeous day for me. I don't care what the weather's doing. I'm telling you, it's a gorgeous day. This is one of those days that I'm building an altar. Let me tell you what I mean by that. When I say I'm building an altar, okay, I'll tell you something that to some of you is going to sound kind of silly, and some of you are going to get it. All right, so I got a lot of tattoos. I got a lot of tattoos on my body. I got stuff everywhere. All right, and people always ask me, they're like, "Well, tattoos are evil." Blah blah blah. Whatever. Let me tell you what my tattoos are about. Okay, every time something significant has happened in my life, I tend to commemorate those. I sort of build an altar, sort of like Abraham did in the Old Testament. You know, whenever God revealed himself to Abraham, it was in that place that Abraham built an altar and sacrificed an animal, and like it was, became a commemorative place for all the generations to come. To me, it's like, I just want to permanently remember certain things in my life. And so I've gotten some tattoos over the year. And no, unlike the Old Testament that says don't carve your body or get tattoos, that was talking about affiliations with other religions and other gods. All right. Totally different context. And we can have that debate another time. But for me, like today is a build an altar kind of day. There's some good things happening, and I want so bad to tell you the details of some of them, but I can't until tomorrow. And I know some of you are going to be mad at me for that, but you'll get over it. You'll just have to get over it. So many good things are happening right now. And yesterday morning, you guys heard me talk about it. Man, God spoke to me. I don't know what you believe about stuff like that, but I just know when God's talking to me. It's not an audible voice, and I shouldn't have to clarify all that. But it just, when you know something deep inside, just that thing just pops in your heart, and it's just there. And I'm sitting there going, man, God is restoring some things. He's restoring some things. And I believe that about all of you guys as well, because every one of you have been through some stuff, man. We've all been through some stuff. I mean, you can't live in this country for the last 5 years have not been through some stuff. I mean, we've been called every name under the book. We've been shut down and castigated. Some people had to withstand medical tyranny. We lost loved ones. We've dealt with riots and burning down cities and elections that we don't believe in, and being accused of insurrections and all this, kind of crazy stuff. I mean, we've been on a roller coaster of society. But then some of you on a personal level, you've dealt with everything from health issues to financial woes, and just I've gotten some deep, close, personal people. I know some of you are watching the show right now, and you're going through some crap. You are going through some crap, man. And you need to go back and watch that Chad's Church that I shared with you guys the other week, where I said, you're going to go through the hard times, you're going to go through the hot times, you're going to go through the hallelujah times, and you're going to go through the harvest times. All of those seasons are different. Sometimes they happen simultaneously. Some of you are going through a hard time right now. I'm telling you, God's in the process of restoring some things. I'm so excited. I'm a new man. Like, I don't know. I'll tell you something. I'll just get real vulnerable with you here for a second. I want to tell you something that really was revealed to me. And it's humbling. It's humbling. Now, I'm a believer. I believe that, like Shakespeare said, there's a whole world out there that we can't see or explain. He didn't say it that way. It was much more poetic, but that was the gist of it. I believe there's a world out there that's unseen, that's probably more real than the one we do see. And so there's a spiritual world out there. There's a spiritual realm, and sometimes there's spiritual battle. Ephesians 6 talks about that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the powers and principalities and these spirits that are out there that really are establishing themselves against the knowledge of Christ. And when you try to do the right thing in life, you're going to get a lot of attacks. You really are going to go through some stuff. That's why we talked about in last week's Chad's Church in James chapter 1, where he says, count it all joy whenever you enter into various kinds of temptations or trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and endurance, and when it has its perfect work, is going to make you into the full character of Christ. So you got to have that trouble party every now and then. So now, I'm not here to preach to you, but let me just tell you, when I joke about going to the White House a month ago, and we've made a lot of jokes about that, I believe that you're woman. How do I say this? I walked out of there under a spiritual attack. I walked out of there under spiritual attack. And when I started looking back at some of the things, I was like, there is so much evil, so much wickedness, so much things that have happened in Washington, D.C. There are so many curses that have been spoken, so many things that have been, just people, cursing Trump and cursing presidents and cursing the White House and cursing America. There's just so many things that are out there. And so much wickedness has been done in these places. It's a high place, and it's a place that's exalted. And I'm sitting there thinking, I walked in there kind of unprepared spiritually for what I was walking into. And I believe I came under some spiritual attack. I believe there were some things that attached themselves to me. So March was a rough month for me. It really was. And I had to go back and trace where those spiritual attacks were coming from. And I said, when they started? They started when I made that dadgum visit to the White House. Now, it was an honor, it was a blessing, and we could joke about it and have all kinds. But I'm telling you, I've been in spiritual warfare. But God, man, he's broken some stuff. He's broken some stuff off of me. He revealed it to me because I asked him to. I said, God, some of you are going through this stuff right now, and you're just going, I don't know what I'm going through right now. Why don't you ask God sometime today, get quiet, maybe this afternoon or evening, and why don't you just get quiet and say, okay, God, would you reveal to me what's attacking me, what's coming at me? It could be a spirit of disease. It could be a spirit of fear. It could be a spirit of depression and anxiousness. It could be a spirit of poverty. It could be all kind of things that are going on. But identify that, and then I want you to break it off of yourself in Jesus' name. How about that, all right? We get spiritual on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm down with it, man. But just start speaking those things out loud. Start getting those evil, run those rats out of your life. Get that public access road closed down for those spirits to be running up and down the highways and byways of your heart. Get rid of it, man. Get rid of it. Take away the legal access. Don't give a foothold, a position of operation for Satan to work in your life. You say, I don't believe all that stuff. Well, that's part of your problem. Why don't you ask God to break that spirit of unbelief off of you? How about that? Because I tell you what, it sure is a lot more fun in life when you got an eternity that's not just about quantity of life, but quality of life. And when you got joy, you got real contagious joy in your life. It sure is a whole lot more fun to go through it, building those altars out there of the specific things that you can pinpoint and mark and say, this is what God's done in my life, and always look back at those things and say, man, I might be in a place of disbelief and faithlessness right now, but I tell you one thing, I know when God was working in my life, and I can look back at that altar and I can tell you he moved then and he'll move right now too. So get freed up, folks. I'm like a homo coming out of the closet right now, man. Fired up. Free, baby. I feel good. Like James Brown said, I want to kiss myself. I want to be in a Hollywood hot tub. Yes. I just got off the phone with our friends over at Birch Gold. I was talking to Philip. I like to hear him talk. He's got that accent, man. He knows his stuff, man. We were talking tariffs. We were talking about the volatility of gold. We were talking about how people are panicking. But one thing remains certain. He reminded me. He said, Trump didn't put tariffs on the gold. He didn't put any tariffs on bullion. And that's a huge thing for people like Birch Gold. It's a huge thing if you're putting an IRA retirement account over there backed by physical gold. Birch Gold will help you do that. Text CHAD, I spell it Chad, to 989898. They will send you a free, no obligation information kit. I always tell you, get them on the phone. Get them on the phone and talk to them, because this is your future, folks. This is your future. This is something that you need to secure. Yes, I want you to have faith in God, but I want you to be smart too. I want you to be wise. And one of the things that you can do in exercising wisdom today is text Chad to 989898. Do it, folks. Birch Gold, they're solid folks, man. I love those guys so much. Yeah, man, yeah. You know what? We're going to have a fun time today. I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Producer, the guy that for a while was pushing the buttons on the Dear America program, the guy that ever since Royce went to D.C., he's been pushing the buttons on the Chad Prather show, and I appreciate him. He hasn't wanted the spotlight, but he's got a big channel. He's got a big following. You've seen his clips, whether you know it or not. We're going to show you a few of them here. And I said, I'm twisted his arm. I said, I want you to come on the show, and I want you to start coming on the show, because he's got something worth saying, and everybody needs to not only see his face, more importantly, you need to hear his voice, because he's out there on the front lines fighting the fight. Mr. Producer has a name, he has a face, and we'll bring him on. David Medina, everybody. David.
My boy, man. I almost just jumped off and just let you go to town on Chad's church, bro, because I'm telling you, you got a gift. You got a gift, my friend.
Brother, I just say what I believe, man. You know, you do the same thing. I'm gonna turn my light up just a little bit. I feel like I'm sitting in the dark over
Yeah,
here.
turn it up a little bit.
I'm gonna turn it up so people can see this weight loss right here. This weight loss. This I don't know.
That make wellness weight loss.
Let me tell you, dude. I segue into everything. David, you're in Portland, Oregon. You're in Portland, Oregon. You are in the belly of the beast. You've had several clips that have gone viral. We've tried to pull you out of Oregon, but you're sort of on the front lines getting things done in Oregon. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing, how you're going about it, and why. You know, just sort of like you're reaching people in Oregon that nobody else can reach. Talk to me about where you came from, what your passion is, why you do what you do. Fill me in.
Yeah, man. In a nutshell, I don't want to bore too much of you guys. I feel like Party Foul Steve yesterday kind of gave me this, like, built me up too much to where your audience was like expecting like Trump Jr. to come on here or something. Then they have this guy wearing a beanie and they're like, who the hell is this guy? No. So I come from a family, a large family, a Christian family, deep Christian roots. I started being politically active back in the Obama regime days. We all remember those days. I think those days might have been a little bit worse than COVID, even though COVID was pretty bad. But the Obama days, right? That's what got me standing up, and I started speaking out in college and speaking out in school, getting thrown out of college classes. And I just felt God had this call to my life to make something of it. And I tried to resist it. And you talk about it all the time about how when God calls you to something and you feel it and you don't want to necessarily follow it. You want to do your own thing. And then eventually God whips you into shape where he, you know, you just find yourself, you're like, fine, I give up. So I started working in politics about 7 years ago. I worked as a campaign manager. I worked on congressional races. I've helped knock doors for Trump in Arizona. I mean, I've really tried to do my part, but I felt like God was really calling me to kind of be a staple here in Oregon for good. And, you know, my thing is, man, if you want to know something about me is, yes, I speak my mind, but, you know, just like you, Chad, I think this is why you and I have connected so much, why we just immediately have kind of like already felt like brothers, is because we see a lot of ourselves in each other, which is we have a heart for people, but we also stand on truth. You know, you can still love like the Bible calls us to, but that doesn't mean watering down the truth. That doesn't mean, holding back your beliefs, which I used to do to please people. But as soon as I let that go, I actually found, so if you're struggling with that, of being truthful in your work circles, in your school circles, you know, just speak truth. People will respect you. A lot of people aren't going to agree with you, but they will respect you more when you're more genuine and when you're standing on truth. And I can't tell you how many people here in Oregon, me and my team have had the blessing of God working through us to wake people up here. And I think we can win it back, man. So I just do political activism here. I do street content, podcast stuff. Just try to remind people to love, but also stand on truth, man. We have some crazy things that we're facing in this world today. Men and women's sports, we're dealing with that in Oregon. Oregon governments, the Democrat-held government, they control every branch of government here in Oregon. They were refusing to back down to the Trump administration, allowing men and women's sports. And so we have our hands full. But, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I love you so much. And
I love you too, buddy. We've become close. And it was a God thing. It really was. I'll say more about that in a minute. But let's remind people. Let's play a couple of your clips. I know you hate this because you don't want to do this, but here's some clips I've seen. Play some of these viral clips that you did. This was a classic right here. You guys have seen this one. Let her rip.
We don't have to. Hey.
My heart.
Why do you get so emotional though? Stop. Let's just have a conversation.
We need to weed out a political affiliation.
Ma'am.
It's free speech.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, we're talking. It's good. All good.
You want to give your thoughts?
Both Democrats, by the way.
The U.S. flag with the hunter stuff. It's a hunter's hat. It's no political. I promise.
It looks cool.
It's not political. I promise. This is just a brand.
Why are you wearing it then?
She's triggered by it.
It's cold.
So
She's triggered, and this is this is a good example of just how deranged these people have become. Again, we still pray for it, but man, these people are so far gone, man. We really have our work cut out for us. But everybody I'm talking to here is Democrats, and you actually see the Democrat guy I'm talking to trying to calm her down. That's just how crazy she was. But we found out who she was. She's like a Democrat chair for one of the county parties here in Oregon. So one of the leaders.
And she's triggered by your
So
image that looks like a flag on your hat.
Yeah,
The one you're wearing right now.
This is from Cabela's, and this is, by the way, I'm sharing information here about her identity, and also that I haven't shared yet. But also, this hat is made by Columbia Sportswear, which is literally ran by leftist feminists.
So like,
I've also seen the flag used in ways that's very disrespectful.
okay,
And my parents were both in World War II.
I can see that.
I think it's a symbol, and I think that you're trying.
What
to
were her
make a
parents,
statement.
Chinese
I promise
or
you I'm not.
Japanese?
Honestly, I got this as a gift.
Oh, honey.
I promise you.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what's even
Oh,
on here.
you're so innocent.
Yeah, I mean, it's got geese and elk. I mean, this is what Oregon's about. It's kind of like an Oregonian thing. You don't like that?
You're so innocent. Come on, give me a break.
Hold on. This,
You act
Give
like
me a break.
you act like I have Trump's face on here or something. This is just a hunting
Oh,
thing.
you're so innocent, honey. Come on, give me a
is a
break.
distraction.
Pretend I'm your mama.
I know.
Pretend I'm your mama.
Okay, I will. My mom died last year, so I would love that.
I am so sorry.
True, by the way.
That's
You
a
really think
story,
I'm?
too.
You really think
She's
this is
just
like I'm trying to
something
like be
else.
malice out here?
Tell
Like
me what you think of Elon
like
Musk.
I have bad intentions.
This is where I troll a
This
little
hat.
bit.
No, tell me what you. I think Elon Musk has bad
We
intentions.
can't talk about Elon
and
until
you
we get
just
over this
said that.
because you're like
no,
thinking
you
I'm out here
just said
trying to.
Elon Musk has
This is just-
bad intentions. Thank you. I totally agree.
El-
Have a great day.
You know what? Elon Musk should be president in 2028. What do you think about that?
I think that Elon Musk has no skills and no ability.
Well, he's the richest man in the world, so he's got some skills, right?
He cheats, he lies, he steals, and he bought a presidency. He has done nothing original other than to create things off of other people's ideas.
You think that Elon Musk is
Honey,
Tesla and
you are
SpaceX?
clear
Hold on,
as
we don't
mud.
we don't
Oh,
we don't have to.
oh,
Hey,
oh, break my heart.
why
Break
do you
my
get so,
So much
emotional, though? Stop.
histrionics.
Like, let's just have a conversation.
When you
I
go
wanna
out
hear
on
what
the
you
street,
think, man.
David,
Like,
when you're out there doing that, do you get nervous? Like when you're going to confront people like, I don't know what I'm about to encounter here?
You know what, man? I'm ready to meet Jesus at any moment. I want the end times to be here. I want the rapture to be here. I'm ready to leave this earth. So I don't care, dude. Like if you're gonna come out and shank me or shoot me, I'm gonna just go meet Jesus. So thank you. I'll leave this painful earth. But no, I used to get nervous. I used to, it just takes a lot of practice. And if you're out there, you're thinking about doing this kind of stuff, do it, man. We need more of this stuff because we need more. We need to expose the craziness more. We need to expose what we're working with. Too many people are getting comfortable in America right now. I feel like just because Trump won, everybody's kind of going back to, well, Trump won, so we're good now. No, man, we got a whole box of issues that just opened up with Elon derangement syndrome. So I used to get nervous, but now it's just like second nature to me.
So you posted something, I guess it was yesterday, where was that you that the lady rolled out and you asked her about her Trump hat or her MAGA hat that was in the car next to you? Was that you?
That was me. Yeah. Is that going off? I haven't even looked at is it going off?
I don't know if it's going off or not. Like, I don't know if it's gotten viral, but it ought to, because you had a deal where she rolled down the window or whatever. You asked her, you said you complimented on her MAGA hat, and she was wearing like a gay pride hat or something, right?
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah. So again, man, this is just me. I just love having fun with these guys, man. They're so easy to trigger and have fun with.
Trump fan.
I rolled up next to. I was in downtown Portland, and I rolled up next to this. This was after the anti-Trump protest, and this girl next to me was wearing a "Make America Gay Again" hat with a rainbow on it, and this is our exchange right here.
I like your MAGA hat. Yeah, Trump. Woo.
It says gay.
Oh, I know.
Just checking.
Trump fan.
Never know.
Trump?
No. It says make America gay again.
Great. Again.
Gay.
I know, but we love Trump, right?
Yeah, she almost hit me right there too, and it's like as if there's not gay Trump supporters. Like, what are you talking about? Gay is just exclusive to non-Trump supporters. I'm pretty sure he has some in the White House.
She was dead set on making sure you understood. Make it gay again.
She almost
my God!
She almost hit me, man.
You got another clip pulled up. Pull up. I'm having fun with this thing right here. You guys put it in the chat. Y'all show Dave some love. Give him some heart emojis in there. Come on, Dave's out there getting it done, dude. He's providing content, baby. Oh, this was a great one right here. Oh, this is a good one. Play this clip.
Yeah, this one was pretty insane, actually. This made me. I go out here. I don't know what these people are going to say. I just ask questions and they do the rest. I don't have to dunk on them. I don't have to make fun of them. They do it themselves.
So biological men in women's sports.
There's no two sexes.
Oh, sorry. This was at the Women's March, by the way. This was at the Women's March in Portland,
And
Oregon.
she said there's no two sexes.
There's no two sexes, but it gets better, Chad. Check this out.
Stupid, unsigned
So we
thing
can't
to
call this a
say.
women's march. We just call this a people march.
This is a human march.
You guys are here for the women's march?
Yeah.
What about women? What are we celebrating?
We are magical creatures from
I
the
agree.
very start,
Yes.
and the fact that we have been squashed down and killed for our magic all these years.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. If our magic is just getting stronger, and pretty soon you're going to be sorry.
So biological men in women's sports.
There's no two sexes.
Okay.
That's a stupid, unscience
So we
thing
can't
to
call this a
say.
women's march. We just call this a people march.
This is a human march. Transgenders are evolution. In 6 million years, and none of us will be around here for it, the Earth will have evolved to weed out the Y chromosome because it's only proving itself to be dangerous.
You think I'm dangerous as a guy?
I do not think that you this is a beautiful conversation right now. I don't think that you are dangerous as a male.
Okay.
I think that you with other males can be dangerous. If Maslow has it on the hierarchy, we should all be able to attain it.
So this isn't a women's march then. This is a march.
It was inspired by the International Women's. Pronoun you want. You want to call yourself a unicorn? Down.
Wait till she says if I can get pregnant.
Down.
Can I call myself a woman?
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Baby.
I'm a woman.
On board. You are a
My
female
name's
unicorn.
Davina.
Well, Lavinia, it is my honor to meet you.
And I can give birth.
You may not give birth.
I mean, maybe
At this
someday.
moment.
You said I could.
At this moment.
You said anybody.
I got to get in touch with my magical creature side, Chad. That's what I got to do, man. These
Oh
people.
my gosh. I don't know, man. Part of me thinks that the fascinating thing is how these people, they just double down on their lack of logic. Like they're arguing it, like they're passionately arguing with zero basis of that. I mean, there's no biology behind it. There's nothing.
They just make it up as they go.
Yeah. Whatever feels good, say it, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. You know what? Let's do this before we go any further. David, I'm happy that you're on the show. People have been following you. I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the chat. I mean, they've been following you. So blow that thing up there, dude. I want to talk more about you here in a minute. But before we do that, let me remind our friends about AlliedOilfield.com. Allied Oilfield. They partnered with us. They gave me a call a while back, and they said, listen, we're wanting to blow our name up. We're wanting to be, a little bit bigger in the oil and gas industry in terms of how people refer to us and know about us. And Allied Oilfield, they've been doing this thing out in Levelland, Texas. They are a industry leader in oil and gas and trucking and building equipment, big equipment. For the whole thing of drill, baby, drill. We're back. So they've been doing this for over 20 years. And so from, design concepts to the finished product, these are the folks that can help you. If you're out there in the oil field industry, if you're out there in the trucking industry, if you need some big equipment built, call my friends over at Allied Oilfield. You check them out at alliedoilfield.com. Such good folks, man. I'm proud to know them, and they're the kind of folks that are American companies that keep this country great. I mean, these are the ones. This is the type of companies that do it. So anyway, check them out, alliedoilfield.com. When Royce decided to do what Royce is doing, he kind of had, because Royce is still around. He's still got his hands on a lot of the things we're doing. Royce came to me and he said, I've got to find another producer for the show because I'm going to probably be going up to D.C. for some projects and things like that. And so we talked about a number of different people, and he said, there's a guy named David Medina up in Oregon, and he said he's a good dude. And I was already following you. I was already a fan of your work, and I said, let's go. So you've been doing this behind the scenes thing now for a couple of months, and I will tell you this: if you follow him, it's David Medina on Rumble, right?
Dave Medina PDX, yep.
PDX, and it's Dave Medina, Dave or David?
David, either one.
David Medina PDX on Instagram. I know that. And then over on X. And so I was already following you. Loved your content and stuff. But you have been a great encouragement for me. Let me just say, you were a godsend. There was some stuff that, you've kind of jumped my ass a couple of times. You called me back when I was going through some low points. So I appreciate that, dude. You're the real thing, man. Real deal.
Thank you, man. Yeah, absolutely. I think I just see, I kind of look up to you already in a way, man. You have been
For those of you that don't really know what I do behind the scenes for work and everything, I mean, my content, that's kind of what I do as a side thing. My main thing is I do marketing and media management for, different conservative influencers out there. You guys have probably heard of a lot of them. I just got done working with Benny Johnson. I was kind of looking for something to kind of fill my plate, kind of help me with some stuff. And that's where Royce came in. By the way, Royce Chamberlain, amazing dude. That guy's going places. I don't know if you've shared his personal business where he's at, so I won't share it. But he is one of the nicest dudes. You and Royce and just everybody with Dear America, you guys are some of the realest, most genuine people that I've met in this space. I mean, I've worked with Officer Tatum. I've worked with David Harris Jr. All great people. Benny Johnson. I used to work at PragerU. So a lot of great people in the movement. But you guys, man, you especially, Chad, man, I just see how you interact with your audience, your Chad's church. You've been a godsend to me, man. I mean, you've been an encourager to me. I've been like, man, this guy like actually cares about people.
Well, you know what? I do. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, it's sort of my downfall, I guess. Sarah Gonzalez tells me all the time, I'm generous to a fault, but I wouldn't be any other way. I want to be who I am, right? Yeah. And so, that's what I like. I mean, did you share
your news with the audience that your good news?
No, not yet. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to wait till tomorrow and do it.
Man, because I'm so happy for you as somebody.
Thank you. It's really good, and it's not what anybody would expect. But I've got an idea of doing a reveal on social media, and I would like to do it there before I do it here, because it's going to be a shock for people. I am not transitioning, so don't worry about that. But it's good to have brothers, man. Brothers that'll slap you harder than Trump's tariffs on China. 104%.
Goodness. This guy ain't messing around, huh?
Dude, I like it. Like, we have lived for the last 4 years with zero backbone. And now you got tonight, per the White House, China effed around, is what Nick Sorter said. They're about to find out America first. 104% tariff. Because Xi Jinping, he was like, no, we're not, don't. Like, he was like trying to really push back, like, we're not going to. I mean, that's a lot of products coming from China, man. How do you think that's going to work out?
Man, it's. I think this is necessary. Obviously, I mean, if you guys know anything, I'm a huge macroeconomics guy. For some reason, that subject in college was exciting to me more than any other subject. But just when you understand how the economy works, guys, when you just do a simple read, you don't have to be an expert. Just go Google, just learn about macroeconomics, go learn how the economy works, go learn how everything works together, go learn about tariffs. And if you don't know what tariffs are, they're just a tax on goods. China has been ripping us off for decades.
Forever.
And for some reason, they've been taxing the hell out of our exports. And for some reason, Trump or previous administrations have been allowing it to happen. Meanwhile, our manufacturing, our jobs, everything goes over to them, and then they use children for their slave labor. We all know that's true. They use all different kinds of slaves for their stuff over there. You don't see LeBron James speaking up for that, by the way.
Nope.
He'll wear their shoes, take their money, but he won't talk about the slavery that's still going on in China. But you have China that's just been ripping us off. And so, Trump, he came in, he said what he was going to do. This is exactly what he did in his first term with China. You guys remember that trade war right before China had this brilliant idea where they ushered in coronavirus. That's not a conspiracy anymore. That was true. The lab leak, right? So Trump was already doing this. And so you wonder what China's going to do this time, because these guys, man, Chad, these Chinese, man, they want world domination. They are, in my opinion, they are the modern day kind of Hitler Germany. And we need to be playing hardball with them like Trump is doing. And so China hit us with retaliatory tariffs, last week, and Trump obviously isn't having it, man. 104% tariff. Things are going to get bumpy, you guys, and buckle up and don't give into the fake news, because you're going to see fake news and stuff. All these people who were quiet over the last 4 years with Biden, don't listen to the fluff. Don't let it get you upset. Trump knows what he's doing.
He does. And, like 104%, that's not a random number. There's a reason why they use specific numbers on different deals. They know what they're doing with all of this. And Trump goes back 40 years. I mean, he's on the record for 40 years talking about tariffs. And like we talked about yesterday, when he was talking about it on Oprah, they're sitting there with bated breath, listening to every, like honey dripping from his lips. I mean, they were slurping it up at that audience. And it's like the most profound thing they'd ever heard. Oh, yeah. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's talked about it. Chuck Schumer's talked about it. And that was Nancy like 3 or 4 faces ago. She's so plasticed up at this stage in the game she can't feel her face. But she was talking about tariffs and all of this. And China's trash. To your point, the Uyghur slaves, the child exploitation. They are one big nation of human rights violations. I mean, you ladies out there with your Temu apps and your Shein and buying your crappy clothes. Yeah. Let me tell you, I've never spent a dime. Now, again, Amazon.com, 80% of the stuff that's on there ain't from here, and most of it's coming from China. And here we are. It is going to get rocky for a little bit because we've embraced a lifestyle that's absolute garbage. We're comfortably obese in every way.
Absolutely. And, you saw that former Democrat, I forgot her name. You probably remember her name. She went on Piers Morgan and gave that brilliant explanation.
Yeah, she got the long name, Sadia or whatever her name is. Yeah.
Right. We have to remember, guys, you got to tune out the fake news. It will drive you insane. I'm a guy that I want good vibes. I want to look at the glass half full. I try to as much as I can, not always perfect at it, but Trump is playing the long ball here. You have to remember that. He is playing for the long run. He is setting America up for the future because there's a reason why you have to work 3 jobs at Panera Bread, Subway, and McDonald's just to afford your rent. There's a reason why the middle class isn't buying homes right now. There's a reason why all these things economically are connected. And Trump understands this better. And he not only understands this, he cares because I honestly believe previous administrations understand this. They just didn't care because their friends on Wall Street and everybody else was getting rich. Meanwhile, especially through coronavirus and the scamdemic, everybody was getting poorer except the corporate people and the corporate, all these billionaires that the leftists are protesting against. And that's another thing. These guys just don't know what they're protesting because if they did, they'd be happy about this. Because
fight the kakistocracy.
Gosh, man.
I mean, just today we've discovered that Doge has found millions of illegals were given Social Security and Medicaid.
Shocker.
This is today right here. 1.3 million receiving Medicaid. Millions of others received driver's licenses, registered to vote, may have already voted. I said on my show last year, that lady working down at the border, I got that intel from the folks down there. She had to quit her job because she was giving them this stuff as they were coming across. The federal government was telling her to sign them up to vote, get them a driver's license, get them a Social Security number, whatever. And she's like, I can't in good conscience keep doing this job. And people called me a liar. People said I was wrong. People said I was making stuff up, just coming up with numbers.
One thing I learned about you, Chad, is you like to have fun a lot, but you're literally almost always right. Like I can't talk about the thing that you called that we talked about this morning, but I mean, I'm always finding myself, Chad, how do you know these things?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was your visit at the Oval Office. I don't know if it was, I don't know what's going on, dude. I don't know what you know.
I have an element of I have a dull prophetic gift, but I am awfully intuitive. I'll just tell you that. We used to joke when I was on the Blaze all the time. I say, one thing we always say around this show is Chad's never wrong. I can predict some things, man. I just can. I could see it and when I feel it, dude, the intuition is usually pretty fairly accurate. But this is the thing, so the Supreme Court, we talked about it this morning, and I want to get your take on it because I had some pretty strong language about women in leadership
today. One quick thing
please,
on this.
Absolutely.
This one real quick. For one, if you guys see me staring off the screen, it's because I'm still producing the show.
He's still producing, yeah.
I learned it from Royce. Royce taught his young apprentice, and now I'm kind of pulling the Royce where I'm producing and doing all this. So that's why it's not that I don't want to look at y'all. Y'all are beautiful. I see you in the chat. It's just that I'm looking off. But I will say on this, one thing that comes to mind is something that I say is like, are like leftists, like the Democrats that are against Doge and Trump, are they under some like spell? Did someone like come 10 years ago, 5 years ago? I don't know, Trump, maybe it was Trump. I don't know. This is the stuff they should be protesting. that illegal immigrants that aren't even citizens are being given Social Security over the last 4 years, receiving 1.3 in Medicaid. This is what they should be protesting, but instead they're protesting lies said about Elon Musk cutting Social Security and cutting all the benefits. Like everything that you think that the leftists should be protesting, they're like doing the opposite. And it's like with Tesla, like they were telling us how we should buy Teslas 10 years ago and how we should save the environment, all this climate change agenda stuff. And now they're telling us not to buy gas and Teslas. So what are we supposed to do? Ride bikes? Are we supposed to ride bikes everywhere? These guys, that's just what came to mind. They're always protesting stuff. They're always not protesting stuff they should be protesting and protesting stuff they shouldn't be protesting. It's crazy.
Like they're under.
There's, I'm sure there's a good example out there of some folks that, like, if we were to bring in, like, say, Cubans who are moving to Florida, coming across, and they come over with conservative values because they're leaving communism and the oppression that they've had there, and they come over here and embrace. And because I know a lot of Cubanos that have come over here and embrace conservative values. Are you gonna? They wouldn't celebrate those folks. They wouldn't celebrate, because again, anything that ultimately supports Donald Trump is what they're going to fight against.
Exactly.
I mean, if Donald Trump says air is great, they're going to put a plastic bag over their head. And there's no doubt about it.
And you're just seeing, and if you're confused about what you just mentioned, the Cubans coming over, because these guys understand what socialism and actual dictators look like. They come from their grandparents, their great-grandparents come from countries that they actually know what it looks like. And they see people going against Trump, calling him a king, calling him a dictator. And they're like, you guys have no idea what that is. In fact, Biden's was more of a king and dictator, if you want to talk about all the executive orders that he signed. But these guys, I mean, you're seeing, this is also just a product, Chad, of years of us just surrendering the education system, the entertainment industry, every video games, all the industries we kind of surrendered to the left. And you're seeing the product of this, of all of the, even all the way back to the last century. We just surrendered everything, the education system to the left. And you're seeing the product of it right here. People that just don't know what they're talking about. They just hate Orange Man, and I don't know, maybe they hate Christians, and they're just going to protest. Like you said, if Donald Trump were to come out and speak out against air, they'd all suffocate themselves.
and what's funny, David, is there's no common sense when it comes to the left. I mean, you see that with your street interviews and your stuff that you're doing. I mean, it's just they double down on the logical fallacies. I mean, it's just crazy to watch. So here we are. We're living in this world where insanity is ruling and reigning, and what we did was we stuck our heads in the sand. People that claim to be Christian, conservative, whatever, we stuck our head in the sand and we said, Hollywood will take care. It doesn't matter. Well, it actually did matter. Like any institution you give over to the left and its insanity is going to come back to bite you in the ass, like it is. So Hollywood has come back to bite us in the ass. You know how?
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a million different reasons I could list off, but they influenced and brainwashed your children. They brought dark energy into your home. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That phrase there, as a man thinks in his soul, literally, nephesh, soul, as a man, the phrase there for as a man thinks, that's the phrase for gatekeeper. Whatever you open the gate to and open your soul to is what you become. We've literally opened our soul to Hollywood. We've opened our soul to the music industry. You said earlier, talking about listening to the mainstream media, we opened our soul to it. And now our mind, will, and emotions, which is the essence of the trichotomy of our souls, it's all been influenced by that. And people are like, Hollywood doesn't matter. It damn sure did. It damn sure did.
It's still poisoning the minds of our kids through our social media, through everything, through TikTok, Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's still we still have clueless parents out there. And I'm not a perfect parent. I have a daughter 17 years old. And you guys are like, how do you have a daughter 17 years old? Thank you. I appreciate that. But
that's exactly what they said.
Parents have dropped the ball. Christians have dropped the ball. We went from standing firm on our beliefs back in the 90s and the early 2000s to saying the phrase, Chad, have you ever heard this? I just want to talk about what we're for, not what we're against. Just the weakest stance on things. And meanwhile, the left has just plowed us over, and you're seeing the result. Look at all the protests over the weekend. You're like, how are these many people clueless? It's everything you just talked about.
Brain dead. Not a firing synapse amongst them. I mean, absolutely brain dead, dude. And don't even get me started on the courts, and which we'll talk about here in a second, or the education system, or the medical field and industry, or big pharma. We've literally given it all over. Our education system, our churches have been given over to leftists. I mean, my gosh, it's impossible to find a good Bible preaching, Bible teaching, Bible believing church anymore, because everybody's out there mirroring the world. I see these preachers online, and they're putting up their clips, and I'm like, you guys are no better than some entertainer out there doing a stage show. It's not. There's no. So we've given it all over. giving it all over. We'll talk about the courts here in a second because I want to get back into this women in leadership thing. I pissed some people off this morning, but you know what? I'm here for that hot topic. Listen, if you're a homeowner, I want you to listen to me about something. You need to check on your home's title. That's the legal proof that you own your house. A lot of you have never done that. You didn't know you were supposed to, because there's a big thing out there especially with AI and the cyber world. You got scammers that are stealing the home titles, and your equity is the target. So what they do is they forge your signature on one single document. They get a fake notary stamp. They pay a little fee, and boom, guess what? The county gives your home title over to them. And now they can take out loans using your equity. They could even sell your property. You don't have a clue. You say, that can't happen. It's one of the biggest crimes happening in the country. Is you don't even know it's happened until it's too late. You got the collection or the foreclosure notice coming in. So stop what you're doing today, and I want you to use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Go over to HomeTitleLock.com, HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code Chad. That way they know I sent you. And they'll get you a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, 24/7 monitoring. And if something happens, they will spend up to $1 million to fix it. So go to HomeTitleLock.com. Do it today. Use promo code Chad and get that 14 days and get that free title inspection. All right. We talked about SCOTUS ruled in favor of the Trump deportations. He says that, that rogue judge out there whose daughter was part of the NGO that actually profited from having Trinidad gangs here. He had a vested interest in that because of his daughter. He was the one who stood in the way of these deportations. They still wound up in El Salvador, but they took it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, all the men said, let them stay gone, and all the women said, bring them back. I can't believe Amy Coney Barrett said that. This woman, I'm telling you, dude, insane.
Who told Trump is what is the question we should be asking. Who tricked Trump into picking her? Because she's been a disaster.
She's been a horrible disaster. She's a plant, and so we've been fooled here and there. You get fooled, and I listen. Your Supreme Court justices aren't always going to get it, just like your politicians ain't always going to get it. But after a while, you start looking at the trend, and you're like, they ain't never going to get it. And Amy Coney Barrett's turning into be one of those. So I look at this thing, and again, I just. These women to do this is an emotional response. This is not a judicial, this is not a just response. That's why I said this morning, I went off on the whole thing about women in leadership. I don't think we should have women that are Supreme Court justices. And I want to qualify something that I said on that deal. I don't think that just any man needs to be in leadership either, because there's a lot of, those dudes holding the sign about fight the cacistocracy, and they don't even know what the cacistocracy is. So there's a lot of men that don't need to be. I was thinking about this today, David. I was thinking about how God chose leadership in the Bible. Like even King Saul in the Old Testament, whenever they were clamoring, Israel was clamoring for a king, and God said, I'm going to be your king. And they said, no, we want a man to lead us. We need a dude. And God said, I'll give you one, but you're not going to like it. And he put Saul in charge of things, and Saul was a nightmare. He was anointed by God, but he was a nightmare. And God wanted to show him what it's like when you got bad leadership. It's so just to prove the point. You want a man, I'll give you a man, and he's one of the most flawed dudes out there. So God's very specific about leadership, and so in the church, you read in the new book in the New Testament, Paul talks about the qualifications of people that are in leadership of the church. There's specific qualifications, and it's whether it's gender or whatever, there are still qualifications, even amongst men to do it. And this we don't have good leadership anymore.
Yeah, is that what the point you made, that you got people ticked off because you said women shouldn't be making these decisions? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said they're emotional and they're probably on their period, menstruating, and all the rest of the stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I know how women are.
I'll say this. There's a big debate right now. There's a big debate. We both do, brother. We both do. We'll just keep our personal, what we talked about, because we could be here all day. But the Bible is pretty clear about it. You're right. And there's this big debate within the conservative movement about, can women lead? Should women be pastors? Should women be making these kind of decisions? And, whenever you're confused about an issue like that, just go back to what the Bible says. That's just that's basically what you can do to just figure out, what does God have to say about this? And
Man, yes, like as far as the leadership in the church, I mean, the Bible's pretty clear about that, about how, like the example you gave about how, Paul was giving directions to Timothy about, that men need to be elders and pastors and all that kind of stuff and leading the church, and women need to be quiet. And you'll have skeptics of that saying, well, that was just for that day. And that was just, they weren't really talking about it as a whole. That wasn't really current. By the way, that's the main argument that skeptics of the Bible will blow. That was just for that day. And the Bible didn't really say that it's not current, right? So let's just rip out those pages and change the verses and fit the Bible to what we want today, because it pleases men more, right? No, you got to just go back to the Bible. And I will say, men and women were, if you want to be a leader as a woman, great. I mean, God did that too in the Bible. Look at Deborah. He raised up Deborah to be a great leader. And she was, but that was at a time where no other men wanted to lead. It was right. And we're kind of in that time right now. Now, however, God is very specific about how men are supposed to be elders and stuff like that. But that's not because I tell this to my daughter. You're like, well, how do you, feminists are going to go, you have a daughter. I get that all the time. You have a daughter. How could you say this kind of stuff? Because I tell my daughter that men and women are made to complement each other in a beautiful, God-designed way. It's not one or the other, like men are better than women or women are better than men. It's just, yes, men are better than women in some areas, but also women are better at men in some areas too. We're meant to complement each other. And when you can make it work together, like in marriage, it's a beautiful thing. But when you just have this movement, like this feminist movement, or like the mindset of Amy Coney Barrett, probably, where she's just like, oh, Trump said, grab him by the, what, and he's disrespectful to women and this and that. And, I'm just going to go against everything he says. I mean, that's probably her mindset. I mean, the way she looked at him at that speech at a Congress. But I will say this is, you have to have some kind of balance. Like, I'm okay with women leading in some areas, but not at the expense of men. You're not going to tell men to stand aside just to allow more women leadership. It should just be who's the best qualified, kind of like what you said. And men are called to lead. That is in our nature, is to lead. The Bible tells us all from the beginning to the end to lead. I mean, you made the example of King Saul. Look at King David. God called him to leadership. He was like the worst of the worst. He was an adulterer. He was a murderer. He was, tried to cover up his sin. And so the point is that God calls different people to leadership. And there's this push to just have female leaders today. There's this push. You go in the store and they're like, hey, now hiring, and they just show all women. That's wrong, dude. We need to come against that, because men, you are actually called to lead more than women are. And
it's a political correct lie. It has hamstrung men. It has weakened men. Yep. I tweeted late last night, there's nothing worse than white liberal women. Nothing worse. And the beta cuck limp-wristed soy boys that follow them around and pander to them rather than stand up to them. We just showed a couple of man on the street interviews that you did with some of these that we're talking about. They're empty-headed. And again, I respect women. I got 3 daughters, and I highly respect women. I will honor them and wash their feet. I will tell you what, I will put them on a pedestal, protect them, guard them. I will do, whatever. But I'll tell you this, if there's a big old massive pileup on the side of the road and people are needing rescuing, I'll tell you who I want to come pry me out of that mangled mess, and it ain't any one of these ladies right here. I don't want that. I want some jaw jacking, pipe slinging dudes that know how to get things done in a crisis. That's what I want. If I'm in a foxhole somewhere and they're dropping bombs around me and shooting bullets over my head, I'm just telling you, I'd rather have some dude that's willing to get up there with the gumption and a couple of cojones filled with testosterone that are willing to take it back to them. Like, I'd rather have that than some girl that's trying to figure out if she packed her compact or something. I don't want that.
And when we want to talk about our feelings as men, we go to women, because they're way better at helping us, talk to us. They're much better to talk to than your friends, than your guy friends, about your emotions. They'll just make fun of you, and they'll just call you wimp and all that kind of stuff. But women are better at listening on that kind of stuff. But there's this push for women, like, it's in our nature. Like, women are, and you saw it all the way back to the Garden of Eden, where women are more likely to basically sacrifice, and it's in their nature because of emotion. They're more likely to sacrifice, things like morals and stuff like that to gain power and control. That's in their nature to want, right? That's why Eve ate of that forbidden fruit, and then God actually blamed it on Adam, because Adam wasn't there protecting her and leading. And so
it's a complementary thing between men and women. I don't know what Amy Coney Barrett is doing though. I mean, holy cow, the way she looked at Trump in that speech, I was like, oh my gosh, that is an evil woman that is staring at him right there. And for those of you that say, well, Trump's not perfect and that's the way he talks about women, that's why women don't like him. Dude, I promise you, the stuff that you've heard Trump say doesn't come close to what is said on Capitol Hill every single day. Have you talked to people on Capitol Hill? Because I have. I have people that I'm close to that work and that have worked on Capitol Hill, and you'd be shocked the kind of physical activities and the kind of crude humor that is said. It's just that Trump shows more of his sins, and politicians are better at being fake about it. That's what drives me nuts about these people that want to sin sniff Donald Trump, man. Yeah, of course he's not perfect, but guess what? Neither are any of us. And I promise you, half the politicians in DC are way worse than him.
Yeah. Well, we have emasculated men, dude. I tell you what, and the idea that Trump's going to come out and be, a bold guy that speaks his mind and says this is what we're going to do, they look at that as being a bully. Because again, you can't come out and have strong men anymore. But I'm telling you, I mean, look at you, David. You look like a dadgum lumberjack. A woman would rather climb up on top of you, son, than some little old limp wrist that's out there walking in a parade with a vagina hat on. I'm telling you, I know. These women can say, "Oh, you're a bunch of misogynists and da da da." Yeah. You want this?
Not in Portland, dude. Not in Portland, man. All the women here are men, so
I know.
Yeah, none of that crawling up on me, man.
Come to Texas. Come to Texas. Come to the land of Lululemon. Come to my uppity eco bubble down here where there's a happy hour every night.
Hey, you talked about demons earlier, man. I feel like if I come and visit you in Texas, the demons will just be literally hovering over us the whole time. We'd get in a lot of trouble. I don't know if we'd be so good together. We need to get close to the Lord first before we allow ourselves to go out and hang out and stuff.
I know. I'm telling you, be a good time though.
Would be.
Dude, I just, again, men, they're scared to talk. They're scared to speak up. That's why this whole thing with, what's the Tate boy's name? What's his name? Andrew
Tate, Tristan.
Andrew Tate. Like, I don't appreciate that dude either. I mean, whatever. But, I mean, he's like, okay, bro. Okay, bro. We got it. But I think there does need to be an element of saying, let men be men. Let men be men. And it's time for men to be men without a fear of reprisal from women out there who, when the tire goes flat, call a man to come change it.
Yeah, the Tate brothers, since you mentioned them, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they say a lot of things that make sense, right? And I don't like to be this type that gets online and starts pointing fingers at people like we're better than them. We all sin, man. We all have, we're just, me and you are just as sinful, and all the people in the chat, and I'm sure there's a couple Karens in the chat that are like, oh my gosh, these guys are, I'm telling you right now, you're just as sinful as Andrew and Tristan Tate. We all are sinful. We all crucified Jesus. Okay, keep that in mind. But that being said, if I had sons, would I allow them to watch Andrew and Tristan Tate and look up to them and have them be part of the influencer network? Absolutely not. I just think that just with their history and with the way they talk, they're kind of the example that they go too far. They're kind of like opposite of feminists. You got to stay balanced, man. You got to stay balanced. Don't let women walk all over you if you're a man. Lead, be confident, but at the same time, man, you can't go too far where you're just like at the point where you just hate women.
Well, and you make a good point. Truth and error, they're not crosstown rivals. They live next door to each other.
Absolutely.
I can listen to the Tate brothers. I don't, but I mean, I've heard some things they've said, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I agree with that. But then again, truth and error, they live. It's easy to slip back and forth into both. Here's a funny Elon impression. Pull this thing up.
I pulled this up just for you. I thought you would love this.
Dude, I love this, bro. This is spot on. I mean, this is spot on. Play this right here.
Elon, this is your first time seeing Ari Matt, correct?
I thought, it's really funny there. I'd like to ask you a few questions. It's been a really great movie.
Stupid.
Very funny. So are you a tit man or an ass man? Yeah, really curious.
He's even got the laugh down.
How are you so smart at the same time?
Did you see the clip where the guy was imitating? It might have been that same guy doing Elon, and he was having a conversation with RFK Jr. And they were trying to have a conversation. Neither one of them were saying any words. It was hilarious, dude.
Who is this guy that's doing the? Do you know who's doing
I don't know. I'm sure my buddy Jesse.
Adam, what's his name? Adam, the new guy.
I don't know.
He does the Dr. Phil.
Jesse Payton would tell you in a heartbeat. Because I never can remember who these comedians' names are. I don't pay attention to it.
We all
I
love
don't pay attention to
Shane
anybody.
Gillis, though. Shane Gillis is he was on the same panel doing a his Trump impression. It was funnier than ever because you could tell he's so tired of doing Trump. Shane Gillis,
I know.
he's so tired of it.
Play it. You got that clip?
Yeah, let me see.
I love Shane. Shane's awesome, dude.
You could tell he's just over it, which makes it more funny. Check this out.
Yeah.
First bucket pool, because this is like the heartbeat of the show, is this magical bucket. So
There's some people in this bucket that are over 200 years old. We'll get to the bottom of that, though.
He's exactly right.
Yeah,
And it
right.
is a disgusting disgrace what this show has become. There's 200-year-old man in that bucket, and Elon's going to sniff him out like a truffle pig.
Truffle pig.
Yeah.
Who is that? I want to know who that is.
So funny.
Right, my liege.
My leash.
So Tuesday night, we're going to do a comedy night. You're going to join us. Maggie Moo's going to be on there. Todd, Tony, Party Foul Steve. We'll see if anybody else is out.
I got to let you know because I didn't text back because I have to check. My daughter, she relies on me for,
I mean, you got stuff going on in life. Whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
You can
My
get
daughter
other kids.
stopped running into stuff in a car, man. I mean, she hasn't driven. I sidelined her on driving for 2 months now because she ran into the brick wall over here. Sorry, babe, if you're watching. But I got to drive her everywhere. So I'll get back to you. I'd love to join that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
We're going to do it, man. It's going to be a good time. We'd love to have you on there. But we're going to do a comedy night Tuesday night. That's tax day if you do those sort of things. But we'll do it that night after Megan's show. Let's jump into some super chats real quick. We'll get you guys out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. Make sure that you hit like, please.
We got a few here.
Kaliner. Hi, Chet. I have a question about Make Wellness. Yeah, you do. I don't really want to sell it, but I would like to try it. So can I just be a customer? 100%. 100%. If you go to my Instagram, wherever my link tree is, you can go to my Facebook. Go over to my Facebook page, my personal profile. But go to my Instagram, @WatchChad. Get in the link tree. You'll see it. There's a place. Just be a customer. And, I guess I could drop it in the chat here. But, I'd love for you to be a customer. I know people are sick of me talking about it, but I am addicted to Make Wellness.
Nobody's tired of you talking about anything, Chad. You got that voice.
Dude, I don't know. I've never been so excited about a product or a business ever. And I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you guys. I've never been so excited about something. And it's gotten me over. I mean, again, talking about how bad. Let me say. Here's my link. See how fast Party Foul Steve gets in.
Do they have greens yet or no?
What's that?
Do they have greens?
No. It's all peptides, baby. Okay. Teresa Warner, I appreciate you, Chad, and thanks for yesterday's show. It helped me a lot. Well, I'm glad. We had our buddy Justin Prince. He's the owner of Make Wellness on there. So,
yeah, he's cool.
He's a good dude, man. Good dude. Not often you get the owner of a company after the dude sold $2.5 billion worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Jump on there. MX Wife 859. Man, my husband crashed. Raised with multiple fractures, ribs, C7, T6, T7. They let him lay there 45 minutes before getting to him. He had a soy boy for an EMT. He wanted to jack slap him. Boy, I like that. It's not the accident, but the jack slapping. Pow! Did you see that clip, David, of I guess they were in a Walmart, and that woman walks up and hits that guy, and he just lays her out?
I saw that. She hit her tailbone.
Yeah. Broke that butt, didn't she?
And she got some of that equality, She came up, started throwing hands, and then he just flicked her right on the ground. And it wasn't an easy flick. She's a big old woman, but he flicked her right on the ground, and she hit her tailbone and her head, man. And she won't be doing that again, I promise you.
Yeah, don't mess around.
She came up to him like, CNN said we were equal, and then WNBA and NBA are equal. I guess I can start hitting you, and it's going to be a fair fight. Nope. She got reminded real quick that men are, turns out to be strong.
Did you watch that basketball game last night?
I did. Oh, my goodness.
I had Houston all the way. I had Houston, and they had that game. And then
Is Houston, because I know Texas, the University of Texas is like the school for I know Texas A&M is coming up and stuff, but is Houston, the University of Houston? I don't really know much about them. Are they pretty popular?
So University of Houston, far better in terms of basketball. A&M's got nothing. Texas has not. I mean, Texas, the Longhorns have historically had a good team of basketball, but Houston, dude, like that's where Hakeem Olajuwon came from. Like it's a good school for basketball.
Man, my heart broke for their coach because he's been at it for forever.
They've been on the cusp for the last few seasons. They've been on the cusp. That close.
This was their chance to finally break through and win a championship. I mean, they had that miracle ending versus Duke, where they shouldn't have won, but they somehow got it done. People are going to call it the Cooper flag didn't foul, whatever. But yeah, my heart, as someone that used to coach basketball, played college basketball, my heart broke for that coach because that is a lot of work to get there. So. Houston fans, I feel you. Love you.
Feel you. I was sitting there right by myself. I spend all my days alone. I was sitting right there by myself, eating chicken wings there at the restaurant, watching the basketball game. I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely and sad alone.
Xi Jinping sings it?
That was Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un, so lonely.
Kim Jong-il, the dead one. By the way, he's fine now. It took 2 months in a recliner, but yes, I agree with you both. Well, I'm glad he's fine. I hope he's managed to get out of that recliner. Once we get there, we don't like to come out.
You know who I miss? I miss Party Foul Steve. I wish he was here.
Party Foul Steve's making miracles happen right now. He's on his way back. He's on the way back. He had to do a little drive today, and he and Tony went to do something amazing. Went to do something amazing. Sorry if you lost last night. Go Gators! I heart country life. Yeah.
Yeah. I told Steve I'd plug in his what is it? Partyfoulsteve.com. I told him I said, I'll honor you and I'll put that plug in there. So Party Foul Steve, he got some good shirts on there. I mean, you got some great shirts. He's got some good shirts too, man.
Yeah. Those are my shirts. I just gave them to him to sell. No. We have so much fun, dude. I can't wait till this afternoon. We're having a meeting. I shouldn't tell this, but we're having a meeting here in a little while to discuss some TikTok. So we'll see how that goes.
And you haven't broken into the news from this morning, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
No,
I'm just gonna stop it there. I am like who's that guy that played Peter Parker most recently? Spider-Man. What's his name? Tom Holland.
Yep.
You know how he like spoils movies? He's known for
movies, yep.
in interviews for spoiling movies. That's how I am, and it's just because I don't mean to. So, anyways, we're just gonna stop because I don't want to spoil anything. A lot of exciting stuff coming ahead for all y'all and all of us at the Dear America family, man. It's exciting.
A lot of good stuff's coming. So y'all follow at David Medina PDX over on the gram and in the X and all the places. And watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. I'm going to be in Conroe, Texas Friday night with the Ragamuffins, and then we're going to be in Arlington, Texas, Arlington Music Hall Saturday night, and then the following week we're going to head over to Jefferson, Louisiana, which is New Orleans, and then we are going to Hattiesburg. I got Todd and Kendra over there trying to recruit me some folks to come to that show, that woke club we're going to infiltrate. So come hang out with us. I got a ton of stuff. Oh, May 3rd, Mount Pleasant, Texas, out in the country, man, middle of nowhere. Our brother Pastor Dave out there, he's got his ranch that he's got, and he's got an incredible outdoor stage. Lara Logan's going to host that deal, and we're closing out the night. We're going to celebrate God, country, and family out there. Good clean show with some speakers and some singers, and it's going to be a good time. So watchchad.com. I need to make sure that link's over there on that deal. But anyway,
love it, man. I had a blast, man. This was fun. Goes by way quicker than being behind
the deal, I know. Let's see. Striker J has one. Can I get a huge prayer wheel going for Nicole? Tipton, long time viewer, back in the hospital, chemo, etc., kicking her around. Please pray hard for her. We sure will.
Yeah,
we sure will.
So many people going through some stuff out there, man, and it's one of the things I love about you, Chad. And I try to be, one thing the last 3 years taught me was there's a lot of hurting people out there, and people are going through a lot of stuff, and they're going through it alone. Some not by choice, some just because they don't have those circles. And man, me and Chad, we've been through depression. Chad's open about it. I'm open about it. I went through some depression I got divorced 2 years ago, lost the love of my life. And then also, just other things going on with January 6th, my reputation being smeared and all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, man, Chad and I are really adopting this whole approach where you embrace suffering. You embrace suffering, you embrace hurt, because that's where the growth happens. That's where you learn about yourself. And I became a better person the last 2 or 4 years going through that suffering. And so embrace suffering. Don't run from it. Don't be scared of it. And everything's going to be all right, man. And Chad, you do that every day, man. I appreciate you so much, brother. I love you.
Yep. Let it hurt. Let it hurt. Coffee 126, the Ragamuffin Band, is that the one Rich Mullen was a part of? No, it's not. So back during COVID, whenever we started doing songs from the sofa on social media, myself and Steve Helms and Ben McPherson, I said, we should probably name this thing if we're going to go out and do shows. And I said, one day I said, you boys are just a bunch of ragamuffins. And they didn't know what that meant, so it's kind of stuck. But anyway, all right.
I love this guy, what he said in the chat. He said, it was help. I'll just show it. It has helped so much to get back to church, listening to Chad, and read my Bible. That combination right there is way better than any drug, alcohol, bottle, girls, guys, whatever. That combination right there. I listened to one of your Chad's churches, I told you, about a week ago. I got to listen to one, and it was powerful, man. You got to do more of those.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I love doing them, man. I don't, because again, I'm talking to myself. I'm teaching myself some of these things and reminding myself some of these things. So anyway, all right, y'all tune in for Hot Seat Todd and Maggie Moo and Brianna and all the rest of the crew out there. David, go follow him. Thank you, brother. We're gonna keep bringing David on here as much as he'll come. But anyway, Party Foul Steve, I know you're out there. I know you're listening. Get your butt home, boy. Be safe. I love you guys. We will be with you tomorrow morning. Once again, dear America, tune in. We had like 16,000 live viewers watching this morning. That excites me. Thank you for being a part of that. God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.